everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 23, episode 2, coming to you from the living room. It's gloomy and cloudy outside, but, and so I wasn't really in the mood to be outside, and you can tell that it is starting to get darker out sooner, so maybe next Sunday we'll be outside, I'm not sure. But I am in the living room, and I have some things to show you. I brought them indoors to show you, so this is my bird table, and I'm going to tip you guys down in a minute to see the lower stuff, but this is my bird table, and most of it was rotten on top, and it used to have slate, which I really liked the slate, but Steve couldn't reattach the slate tiles to the roof. Anyways, basically everything was rotten, so this is none of the old parts. Steve built this part all brand new, and this is the base from the old table. So this is Steve's first go at a bird table, and I think he did rather well. And then this over here is his second go at a bird table. So now that we've looked at the taller one, I'm going to tip you guys down a bit because there's a lot. I'm going to actually sit on the floor today. There's a lot that we're going to do here. And my little display is on this table over here. The sun, the bee, the sunflower. So bear with me to get you guys right now. I don't want really my table in, you know, the table I work at all the time. But if it's in, it's in. So this is where we are in the living room. Okay, let me sit down. So this is my drink. Cheers. Yes, I'm spilling my drink on myself. It's my pop. So this is Steve's second go at a bird table. More fancier than mine. But now that he has the plans, you know, he has the template, he could just keep making these. This is his second go. And I told you guys I was going to show you the hedgehog house, which I will. He still hasn't done the window on the front, so he wants to put a decorative window there just for funsies. And I'm going to make a little sign. And we have chosen a name. I don't remember if I told you guys. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's just Nick the Hedgehog. We don't know if it's a girl or a boy, so Nick is gender neutral. So this is the hedgehog house, and even though this roof looks flat, I can't remember, maybe it's feet that Steve's gonna build, like some kind of grade that lets the rain run off the roof. But when you have a hedgehog in your garden, I guess you're supposed to clean this out once a year after nesting season. So the roof comes off quite easily, but at the same time it's nice and snug in there and overlaps so that you can't, you know, nothing's going to get in that way. When you build a hedgehog house, you make like a hallway, a tunnel for them to get in, and then they turn into where they're going to, because that's harder for other animals to make that turn to get in there, predators and stuff. So if I turn it on a bit of an angle, you'll be able to see, what does that say? Share to group. No, I don't know why it says that. But anyways, it's right in the way of me showing you guys this, so I can't. So yeah, so they come in that way, come in, and then go in there into their nice area of nesting, and it's a really good size, bigger than I thought it had to be. But if you saw the pictures of the hedgehog last week, you'd know how big the box needs to be. So that's the hedgehog house, and there's a little bit of stuff on top of it because unfortunately it was sitting over by where the door in our kitchen got put in. Took out a window and put in a door, and this got put in, and some of the plaster and insulation foam and stuff is on top of here. So that is the hedgehog house, and I'm going to read Melanie's message, and then we'll get on with the other things. I'm not supposed to be on my knees because I have housemaid's knee, so it can be very painful. That was me kneeling on a little pebble or something, even though I did vacuum and mop in here yesterday or the day before. Okay, so Melanie says, "Hi Lisa, love the bird tables and Nick's house is adorable. Excited to see the window and the sign. They'll be so cozy in there." I think so too. I'm excited about it as well, and I'm glad that I got to show you guys finally, even though it's not 100% ready, because he's had this ready for like a couple weeks. It's been done and ready like this. He's just humming and hawing about the window. So I wanted to show you guys this. Plus, we need to get Nick to get in this so that we can finish cleaning that side of the house up. Okay, so this bee is something that, because Steve was born in Manchester, and bees are like Manchester's thing. So this is like a cozy for your hands, like a snuggy, cozy toy. Yes, it's called a muff when you put your hands in it like that to keep it warm. Anyways, the girls bought this for Steve because they thought he'd like it because of the Manchester bee. So this is his bee. But like I said, the sunflower, the sun, and the bee because it's summertime. But also because you guys are learning with me about the 8 Sabbats. So the Sabbat that started on August 1st is called Lammas, or, oh wait, hang on, how do you say it? The Lughnasadh, but you can see that it's written like, so Steve looked it up for pronunciation for me. Some people say Lughnasadh, and some people pronounce the D at the end, Lughnasadh. But it's basically the Irish or Celtic word for August. So it's the first of the, like, well, I'll just read, but it's like the first of the harvest festivals. So because we've liked this guys or girls, I can't remember the last page, hang on. I can't remember what gender they, writer, and she, because I liked her descriptions of the last Sabbats that we've discussed. I printed it off from the pagangrimoire.com, which is where it's Ash Elding. So I'm going to use her information that she's gathered. She's done all the work. I want to give her all the credit, but this is to teach us about the Mass. Sorry, I was out in the garden before, or something I've just touched is making my throat feel like an allergy. So what was I saying? So because she gathered the information for us to learn, that's what we're going to do. That's why she did this. So might as well use it for the reason. It looks like a lot of pages because some of the writing is really big because I just did it quickly before. And then I have the cards for Lammas, not Lammas, Lammas. It's Lammas. This is the Seasons of the Witch Lammas Oracle. Lammas. Oh my God, Oracle. You know, like how I have all the 8 Sabbats now. So this one is by Lorraine Anderson and Juliet Diaz, illustrated by Tiana Lukovic. So yes, and then other fun stuff that we'll do. So who wants to learn about this, if I can pronounce the things right? All right, so Lughnasadh, the pagan harvest festival of Lugh. Here's everything you need to know to celebrate Lughnasadh, the Gaelic harvest holiday. So I don't consider myself pagan, and I'm definitely not Wiccan, which is a religion. But I am interested in nature and learning the old pagan ways and things that are more of the earth and natural. So let's learn together. Lughnasadh is one of the 4 major Gaelic fire festivals and falls between the summer solstice, Litha, and the autumn equinox, Mabon, on the modern wheel of the year. Traditionally celebrated on August 1st, the pagan holiday marks the beginning of the harvest season and honors the god Lugh, a central figure in Irish mythology. Lughnasadh has ancient Celtic origins and is associated with the god Lugh. If it's Lughnasadh, it's just L-U-G-H, so I'm assuming his name is just pronounced Lugh. A warrior and master of many arts, the focus of this Sabbat is, I don't know why I'm shouting, I have a microphone on. The focus of this Sabbat is to honor the first harvest, express gratitude for abundance, and prepare for the darker half of the year. I see, because growing up like theater trained, no, just kidding, like drama and public speaking and all of that, you have to project your voice, and so I know how to do that, and I tend to do that, and I'm also Canadian, so I'm just loud anyways. The holiday is known as Lammas in Anglo-Saxon tradition and is celebrated by Wiccans and neo-pagans through feasting, baking bread, and holding games or offering tithe to the land. In 2026, Lughnasadh falls on Saturday, August 1st. Obviously, we're on like August 16th now, so we're behind, but we're still learning. If you're planning to celebrate Lughnasadh, because guess what, this comes every year, so then this video will just help you for next year's if you're bothered. I'm going to put them together on a playlist too, because I don't even know how many Sabbats I've actually talked about yet, and like in depth like this, so I'm going to put them on a playlist, and then I'll know which ones I've done and which ones I still need to do. And then I won't need to do them more than once, because then I can just refer you back to the old videos. All of my old Rambling Hours are in YouTube at Rambling Hour with Lisa. So go over there and subscribe and watch some of my videos or listen to them on double speed if you want. If you're planning to celebrate Lughnasadh this year, below you'll find activities and the history of the holiday. In our holiday section, you'll find rituals, recipes, and altar ideas. We've also got a 19-page guide to make it easier to celebrate Lughnasadh in the shop. So that's something that you can purchase from the website, pagangrimoire.com. Lughnasadh. So this is a brief, quick thing. They put it on Pinterest, but it is at Pagan Grimoire. So it's Lughnasadh, and it just gives you a quick overview of colors: gold, yellow, orange, brown, green. Herbs: mugwort, heather, chamomile, rosemary, vervain. Foods: homemade bread, berries, apples, nuts, corn, wine, grain. Animals: roosters, stags, dogs, bees, and cattle. So if I want how I decorate for the holidays, every holiday, every season and stuff, I could actually use though, which is funny because I do the farm with the summer stuff. So the cattle, like there's the one cow ornament that Steve or his kids like painted before I even got here, like at ceramics, and it's out. So something like that, if you do an altar, you can put that there instead. Melanie says, do you celebrate Lughnasadh or just learning? I'm just learning. I'm just learning about the 8 Sabbats. But like I said, I was raised Catholic, and I don't consider myself a practicing Catholic. But I like learning about all different beliefs and religions and stuff. But because I'm learning so much about witchcraft and everything else, the pagan stuff goes with that. And we can learn together and see that lots of religions, like I said, and lifestyles and cultures and everything believe different things. And I was thinking about that too, because I do have Irish and Scottish and a lot of French ancestry, that it's different for me to study this. And even if I wanted to practice it, then it might be for somebody who doesn't maybe have that heritage, if you're worried about cultural appropriation. But I was thinking of having some people on, you know, like someone who's Muslim, someone who's Hindu. I mean, I would have to, if I don't already have friends of those things, then I'd have to find somebody. But just to teach us a little bit about those things, and then see the things that we have in common and the things that are different. But for my sake, I want to learn about this stuff, so I'm teaching you guys as well. Because, you know, what did I learn? Well, I learned a few things in the last couple days, but of course it might not. Oh, I know. Okay, so I was listening to a podcast and it was talking about the Bigfoot, and then like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yetis, all of that. And then it was talking about this, I don't remember how to say it, but I think it might be in China. It's definitely in Asia. And they think that what we think of the Bigfoot might have been related to a giant thing that used to live before, that they found teeth of. So they found teeth from this big beast that's like a big hairy beast thing. But and they found teeth in different spots around there, but they didn't seem to find a lot of bones, like not a body and that kind of stuff. And then the fragments of bone that they did find, they had beaver marks on it, beaver teeth marks on it. And then I didn't know this. No, not beaver. Sorry, porcupine. It had porcupine bite marks on the bones. And I didn't know this, but porcupines eat bones. So I guess they take them back to their lair or whatever, and they'll chew on bone to get the calcium and stuff, and it helps them to grow their quills. So that is something I did not know. And I didn't know about this giant thing that they found teeth to. That might be related to the Bigfoot. And I didn't know that porcupines eat bones. So that's what I'm saying. We learn new things all the time. And then there was something else that I learned in the last couple days, but I can't remember it at the moment. I might remember it when it's relevant, might not, because sometimes things go in there and they just get all lost in the filing cabinets. So, okay, back to Lughnasadh. Animals, crystals, amber, citrine, carnelian, obsidian, native copper with malachite, sunstone. So I was going to get my stones out, but I don't know where I put my boxes of stones and stuff. Steve's over there, but I don't know where I put mine, so I have to find them to put my stones out. So I might have them next week. But amber, so I was trying to get amber and jasper when I was in Canada, like in the mountains, in the Rocky Mountains, you know, well, not in Jasper, anyways, when I was in Banff, because that's where it comes from. But the crystal shops there are just as, like, commercialized as crystal shops everywhere, and the stuff is, like, way overpriced. And I'm not saying it's not worth it for somebody to have mined it and everything else, but when you're getting crystals, even small or big or whatever, you got to make sure that they're ethically sourced, because we don't want to pay for something that's, you know, that they're getting in an unethical way, but also that you don't want to get things that are not that are rare. That's not what I mean, but like, we don't have to destroy the earth just for our benefit. So, but I did want to get some jasper and amber, so I'm gonna have to find it somewhere else. I didn't end up buying any in Banff because, like I said, not only is it overpriced, even though it's from that area, it's a tourist place, so it was even more overpriced because of that. So I'll talk to Steve about getting it. I think I do have some amber, but I don't have, oh, I might have I have a type of jasper. Dalmatian, I don't know, but anyways, I wanted to get more. I have citrine, I have carnelian, I may have obsidian, native copper. I don't know what that means unless it's actual copper, but like in its, I don't know. And malachite. I may have malachite, and I know I have a sunstone. Anyway, symbols, harvest tools, corn husk dolls, the sun, your crafts, hand-woven items, deities, Lu, and Tal, if it's T-A-I-L, like tail, and then T-I-U, tail to T, tail T, tail to you. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And then other harvest deities, Crom, Da. Okay, if that's Lu, then that, I don't know, but it's D-U-B-H. So Crom Doff, Crom Doff, Demeter, Ceres with a C, C-E-R-E-S, Neper, N-E-P-E-R, and oh, and then I covered up a letter there, so Renenute something. So I would have to look those up, including the pronunciation. The history of Lughnasadh. The festival of Lughnasadh, pronounced Lughnasadh. Hey, look, it says it right there, I didn't even know. Translate to mean the festival of Lu. Although, like I said, Steve said it just means August. Although Lu is a god, right? So, or a deity. And has its roots in ancient Ireland. It was one of the quarter-day festivals celebrated by the pre-Christian Celts, along with Imbolc, Beltane, and Samhain. It's held on August 1st and marks the midpoint between the summer solstice and autumn equinox. The 9th century Tochmarc Emar, the wooing of Emar, references Lughnasadh as one of the 4 major seasonal festivals in this tale. Emar challenges Cuchulainn to remain awake from Samhain to Imbolc, from Imbolc to Beltane, and from Beltane to Lughnasadh, highlighting the significance of these festivals in the ancient Irish calendar. Okay, so that's from the 9th century, and it says it references in a tale. Like, I would love to learn tales and stories and stuff like that are that old. That's just like the movie, The Odyssey, you know, based on the old poem or whatever, right? Like that, and they've made the movie now that I want to see. It's crazy how old we actually are and how some stories have remained for so long. And information. The 12th century, Libor Gabala Aaron, the Book of Invasions, recounts that Lu's foster mother, Taltui, cleared the plains of Ireland for agriculture and died from exhaustion. In her honor, Lu established funeral games known as the Anak
Taltien. Sorry, I'm going to end up pronouncing things with like a French accent just because I grew up in Canada and I'm French, but I don't know how to speak Gaelic or anything, so I can't say it the way it's supposed to be, which became a central part of Lughnasadh festivals. Early Lughnasadh celebrations included athletic contests similar to the Olympic Games, horse racing, feasting, matchmaking, and storytelling. All activities which reflected Lugh's skills and which they believed ensured a bountiful harvest. The festivals were often held on hilltops such as those in Tailtown, so Tailtean, in County Meath, Ireland. See, and that's County Meath in Ireland, and there's actually a place called Meath in County Meath. And then where I lived when I was in Canada for the last 7 years before I moved here was called Meath Park, M-E-A-T-H. Coincidence? According to folklorist Mair MacNeill's seminal work, The Festival of Lughnasadh, traditional celebrations included a solemn cutting of the first of the corn, of which an offering would be made to the deity by bringing it up to a high place and burying it. A meal of the new food and of bilberries, of which everyone must partake. A sacrifice of a sacred bull and other rites tied to sovereignty and the fertility of the land. MacNeill also theorized that the festival's rituals symbolize a cosmic struggle over the harvest between two forces or deities, with Lugh ultimately emerging victorious. This ensured the fruits of the season would be shared with the people rather than kept by underworld beings or withheld by the land itself. And then I just printed this page anyways. It's just the Lughnasadh, the First Harvest Festival Guide, and it tells you a lot more stuff. And that's, you can get rituals, correspondence, journal prompts, and more instant download from the Pagan Grimoire. So it says it's an instant download. I don't know if it's free or not, but again, that's at pagangrimoire.com. Okay, so Lugh, the god of Lughnasadh. Lugh is a multi-talented deity and a part of the Tuatha De Danann, often called Samildnanic, meaning skilled in many arts. He is associated with craftsmanship, blacksmithing, magic, poetry, the sun, war, and harvest. While Lughnasadh isn't specifically a solar holiday, Lugh's light-bringing aspect and his connection to prosperity and skill make him a central figure in the Sabbath. He was later associated with the Gaulish form, Gaulish, like Galway probably, Gaulish, the Gaulish form of the Roman god Mercury, due to their shared ties to skill, communication, and travel. In Wicca, Lugh is sometimes envisioned as a youthful sun god whose strength begins to wane as the days shorten and we enter the darker half of the year. Is it Lughnasadh or Lammas? Lughnasadh is the Gaelic name for the holiday. Well, Lammas, from Old English, that's loaf mass. But there's like an HLA with the line on top, FMAE attached, which I don't know what those are called, SSE, or loaf mass. Was a later Christian festival observed in England, Scotland, and other parts of Britain. In some folk traditions, the first loaf made from the first harvested wheat is blessed, then broken into 4 pieces. Each piece is placed in one of the 4 corners of the barn to ensure a good harvest. And this is what I'm talking about. All over the world, they have festivals for the different times of year, depending on, because there's always going to be a time for putting in the crop, a time for harvesting, a time for celebrating, and then different weather, whether it's, if you have the 4 seasons or you just have a rainy period or whatever. So I like learning, even if it doesn't stay in there. Though, hey, listen, if I forget this stuff, I can just watch myself back, right? Just like I told you guys to. Though they share similar harvest themes, Lughnasadh retains stronger ties to Irish myth and pagan ritual. Many modern pagans and Wiccans use the terms interchangeably, though some prefer Lughnasadh to honor the Celtic origins. How Wiccans celebrate Lughnasadh. Now, again, I said Wiccans are Wicca. They practice Wicca, which is a religion. So not all witches are Wiccan, and not all Wiccans are witches either, but I guess. Well, they would be, but it's, so it's just, it is like a religion, so it's a certain type of belief system. In modern Wiccan traditions, Lughnasadh represents a turning point in the wheel of the year. The goddess is full and very pregnant with life, while the god has begun to wane. His life force is symbolically poured into the grain, which is harvested to sustain the community. Lughnasadh is seen as the start of his decline, with his death later in Samhain and his rebirth at Yule. Some Wiccans honor this turning point with the ritual bread blessings and offerings to the land. Others focus on personal harvests, reflecting on what they've achieved since spring and what they're ready to release as the wheel turns toward the darker half of the year. Here are some Lughnasadh rituals, including one intended for a Wiccan coven. Again, if you do practice witchcraft, you do not need to have a coven to be a witch, and you can be a solitary witch. So, Lughnasadh, August 1st. Bake bread, refresh your altar, host a field day, play games, harvest herbs, host a feast, make a corn doll, honor Lu, do candle magic, craft a wand. Modern ways to celebrate Lughnasadh today. Modern pagans celebrate Lughnasadh in various ways today, some of which are similar to the original festival. Gatherings might feature feats of skill, honoring Lu, or just spending time together to enjoy the last heat of summer before the fall. Here are some ways you could honor it. Practice crafts. Whether you are already good at something or just a beginner, work on your craft or do something new you've been meaning to try. Oh no, a reason to do more crafts? Dang it. Bake bread. Oh no, a reason to bake bread and eat it? Dang it. Whether fancy or plain, this holiday is associated with bread made from the first harvest of wheat. In the words of Ina Garten, store-bought flour is fine. Place some on your altar afterwards or at the four corners of your property. Here are some Lughnasadh bread recipes to try, and that's a link, so I did not print off those. Okay, number 3. Oh, so did I? Yeah, so one was practice crafts, 2 was bake bread, 3 is host an outdoor games day. Inspired by the Anektaltian, the ancient athletic funeral games held in Tiu's honor, organize a fun mini tournament with friends in your backyard or a nearby park. Think sack races, tug of war, cornhole, or even trivia night. Or host a talent show. Lu was known as Samaldanek, or skilled in many arts. Celebrate the talents of your friends and family by hosting a talent show where they can share music, poetry, magic, or anything else that they want to express. Perform a ritual. For a simple rite, light a candle in honor of the waning sun. Sorry, this is number 4, perform a ritual. Reflect on what you've grown and release what no longer serves. If you have set intentions earlier in the year and have been working with it through the wheel, now is the time to begin to reflect on how you have grown. Take some time to write down the ways your seeds planted at Imbolc have become ripe and abundant. Here is a collection of more meaningful Lughnasadh rituals. And again, that's a link at pagangrimoire.com if you want to do more. Number 5, make a Lughnasadh altar. Use the flowers of the season, a bit of bread, sheaves of grain or ears of corn, and a ritual sickle or other iron tools to create your altar. You could also make or purchase a corn dolly to represent the harvest. And they show a corn doll there, and you can actually make them. I can't remember if I made one or not with you guys. I think I've made one at some point in my life, but there's corn. Now you make it out of corn husks. So there is a picture there, but look up corn dollies. So number 6, craft a corn husk doll. Craft a figure from dried corn husks to represent the spirit of the grain. You can keep it on your altar until next spring, then burn it to release the old and welcome the new, or store it for the next season when it's time to refresh your altar for Mabon. Number 7, do a shadow journaling session. As the light begins to wane, it's a powerful time to turn inward. Journal about what's no longer serving you, what fears you're ready to face, and what truth you've been avoiding. This allows you to reflect on this and make changes throughout the fall and winter. Number 8, craft a wand or staff from a fallen branch. Ooh, another reason to have a new wand or staff. Find a branch that calls to you. Clean it, sand it, and decorate it with symbols of the harvest. Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. So even here or in Canada, wherever you are, there's trees, some type of trees. You're going to have fallen branches. If it's not on your land, ask permission. But you don't need to go and buy expensive things to practice this kind of stuff. Most of the stuff is from the land anyways. So I already have one that I found a few years ago, and I haven't worked on it or carved anything into it and stuff, but it was perfect for a walking staff. And yeah, so there's no reason you can't do this. And it's fun. Decorated with symbols of the harvest. Sun charms, leather wraps, or beads. Consecrate it under the sun or during your Lughnasadh ritual. Use it to direct energy and spells throughout the year. Or just put it on display because it's awesome and you did it. Because it will look really cool. Number 9, harvest something. Even if it's just herbs from your windowsill, participate in the season's abundance. Participate in the season's abundance connects you to the energy of the land. It's a symbolic art of gratitude. Number 10, host a feast. Share a potluck meal with friends using seasonal fruits and vegetables, and of course, bread. Berries, apples, cinnamon, and potatoes are other staples of this holiday's traditional feasts. Need ideas? Here's more than 50 Lughnasadh recipes for your gathering. And so we're still in the season of Lughnasadh, even though we're coming up to the next, so what's after Lughnasadh? Mabon. So that'll be like when it becomes autumn, like so September 21st to 24th. So we still are in what am I talking about? Lughnasadh right now. So, and so I can even talk about Mabon. I'll check if we've already done one on Mabon. Otherwise, I can do one in the next few weeks so that we can be prepared for that one. And otherwise, we can still do this kind of stuff too. Okay, number 11, offer thanks. Write a gratitude list or give thanks to Lu for your skills, successes, or community. You might also take time to reflect on the blessings of the season or dedicate a prayer to the God of many talents. And then this is the Sabbats, Northern and Southern Hemisphere dates included, instant download. So that again is at pagangrimoire.com. Lughnasadh colors and symbols. Whether you are refreshing your Lughnasadh altar or decorating your home, you'll notice the traditional colors and symbols of Lughnasadh include those of both summer and fall. Lughnasadh correspondences. Colors: gold, yellow, orange, brown, green. Crystals: amber, citrine, carnelian, obsidian. Native: copper with malachite, sunstone. Animals: roosters, stags, dogs, bees, cattle. We already went over all this. Plants: all grains, but especially wheat, corn, heather. Herbs: mugwort, heather, chamomile, rosemary, vervain. Foods: homemade breads, berries, apples, nuts, corn, wine, grain. Objects: small scythes or harvest tools, woven corn husk dolls, symbols of the sun, hand-woven items. What are Lughnasadh's recipes and foods? Lughnasadh is a time of gratitude and gathering, which is reflected in the harvest holidays recipes. That's another link. Meals often include roasted meats like lamb or chicken, nuts and wine or mead. Bread and grains. Bread is essential to both Lughnasadh and Lammas celebrations. Bake a rustic loaf, oat cakes, or bannock to honor the grain harvest. You can also create a bread offering for your altar. Those of you in North America who love bannock might not realize. I thought it was for First Nations, like indigenous, like the natives from North America, that bannock, but is actually brought over by the Scots. So that's why bannock's on this list. And the yummy bannock is good. So, wild berries. Bilberry picking. I don't know what a bilberry is. Bilberry. Bilberry picking was a traditional Lughnasadh activity in Ireland, and bilberries and blackberries are considered traditional fruits for the holiday. Add them to pies, jams, or serve them fresh to mark the season. I actually harvested blackberries this year. I've got lots in the freezer now. I just need to figure out what to do with them. Apples. While more strongly associated with Mabon, early apples begin to ripen around Lughnasadh. Bake them into crisps or enjoy them sliced with honey. I'm allergic to raw apples, so I'd have to have them cooked. Cinnamon, yes, cinnamon and apples, yum. Cinnamon, warming spices like cinnamon can be added to baked goods or teas to evoke the richness of the season. Now, we can always get ready for autumn, including decorations and stuff like that, and still enjoy the days of summer outside. And, you know, we don't need to rush into autumn, but we need to prepare because autumn will be here before you know it. Potatoes and root vegetables. Hearty and grounding, root vegetables like potatoes are perfect in stews or roasted dishes. Mushrooms, one of my favorites. Wild mushrooms. Oh, wild rice and mushrooms. So as soon as it said wild, I thought of wild rice, and then it said mushrooms, and okay, now I'm getting hungry. Wild mushrooms are a seasonal treat that can add depth to your feast. Now I want to put a disclaimer, do not get wild mushrooms yourself unless you actually know what you're doing, because mushrooms can look the same. Some can kill you and some can be edible, but you need to know what you're doing before you go and pick them in the wild. Lamb. For those who include meat in their celebrations, lamb is a traditional offering representing sacrifice and agricultural life. I love lamb. Corn, a powerful symbol of fertility and nourishment. Corn can be enjoyed grilled in bread or as a casserole. Interestingly, we just had corn on the cob a couple days ago. Wine or mead, fermented beverages made from summer fruits or honey are traditional offerings and can be shared during a ritual toast. And then that's it, Ash Elding. Ash Elding is a writer and witch based in coastal New England, which is in the States. The roots of her practice are British traditional Wicca and Alexandrian Wicca. She loves the Golden Dawn Tarot deck, Alan Moore's Promethea, and keeps a fulgurite on her altar. And we looked up what a fulgurite was before because I read her little bio before too. So that is Lughnasadh. What time are we at? Okay, so we can do a card reading for Lughnasadh. Maybe I'll save that for last. And then also the death question. And I remembered to get the card holder from Witch Casket today but what I was going to do with you guys, even though I've obviously filled it is in a lot. Sort of sticking with the season. You guys know that I have pen pals and that I love writing letters, and we send little things inside of our envelopes to each other. So these 5 containers right here, I might need to tip you guys down a little bit more because I'm going to make a mess on the floor here. So when I was redoing my scrapbooking stuff, I just got these. Oh, I want to be in it. I just got these containers and put things in it to put them in themes. And then, so the stamps, the stickers, like everything into these. And now I can't find, they don't have any more online where I got them. And then I marked them. So these ones, these 5 specifically are gardening and flowers. And what I wanted to show you is like, now what I want to do, I tried to fit everything in these. And some of them are like so stuffed. But that's because of the way that I had them before. So some things you can't make smaller, like stamps. So, like stamps, I can't squish them any smaller than that. But some of the things, oh, hang on. Comment. My gosh, I need containers like that for my pen pal journaling and scrapbooking things. Yeah, I have a lot of them. I'll take a picture of it later and I'll pop it in right here when this is on YouTube. But I can also send you the picture of how many containers I actually have. So, but what I was going to say is like, so these are like old scrapbooking things, like sets and stuff like that. And if it's in one of these, I keep these. When you get stuff in these like clear plastic things, I actually keep them because they already have the sticky thing on them. And they're perfect for keeping everything together, but like flat, right? So it fits in better. This is washi tape, just flowery and stuff like that. So it might have like, let's say, like the orange check thing might be good for Halloween, but because it's mostly flowers, and that's what this is, a vintage style, whatever, I don't know what this one's called, but I have it in with the summer and flowers stuff. Or, you know, like obviously it has a toucan there and butterflies and stuff, so that could go with animals as well, but it goes with this. So, okay, paper. These are pads of paper from my mom, but they still either have plants or flowers, and that's why they're in here. But I can use them for scrapbooking. I can use them for scrapbooking and pen pals and stuff. These are really cute tins with stickers in, and these are they came with these, like that's what the stickers are that are in them, but I don't want to fold these to put them in there. So, but it'll take up too much room if I kept them together. So I have 2 of those. Mushrooms and flowers. And more stamps. And then this is random stuff like notepads and old cards that so that, and then more stamps, and then more washi tape, and then more washi tape, and more washi tape and stickers. But this is how I had all my, see, this is spring 2 and spring. But so my spring and Easter used to be together, but now my spring and Easter are still together. But these are all flowers that would be, no, I would have to go through these and see if they should go with spring, like spring flowers or summer flowers. What I'm saying is these containers used to be for like crickets from when we had a lizard. And that's why they have all these little holes on the side. But they were perfect for all the embellishments and stuff. But they're a bit too, they do fit in these plastic things. But it might be better if I don't use these. But as you can see in this one, like there's little, I hope you guys can see it all the way from there, but there's like, those are like little flower stickers, and these are like, here, I'll lean up a little bit. Like I have so much stuff, but I'm glad that I'm pen paling now, because now I can like use some of these things and not feel like sending them to people is using them, and I don't feel guilty. So, and then I don't know who made this worm or where I got it from, but he's cute. And then this old thing was probably on a card, and I have no idea. Like, my mother-in-law gave me a lot of this stuff too. Oh, this is like oh, you might hang this on your wall, but it's a bit too tacky for me for wall hanging. But it might work good in some kind of, I don't know, collage-y thing. And then these, and I could even put this stuff with my sewing stuff too, but this is like cloth, well, that one's embroidered, but these ones are like, what are they? Badges. That's the word I'm looking for. And then more like stuff from, so I keep so much stuff. These, I can't remember exactly where these are from, but I remember I cut them off the back. These are from the girls when they were a baby. I don't remember what they were from. I wouldn't wreck things that don't need wrecking, but if they are already, like if a shirt's all torn up but it has a patch on it, I'll keep the patch. This is just a little, see, I don't even know, again, I can't remember where I got this from, but it's just a little like pocket. I actually made one of these when I was checking the sewing machine and testing it, and I made one, and I put one of Steve's remotes in it just to see, but that's basically, this is just a little pouch. So again, it would work in scrapbooking and stuff if you wanted it for a little pocket or whatever, but I keep all this stuff, and then I don't know if, so what I'm saying is, I was going to do this all with you guys, but we might be over an hour. Well, I need to do this anyways, and then the different stuff, but then I have like everything that I keep. This is from a table runner, but I like the design on the side, so I don't actually need to keep all of this. The pictures would be fine, but until I get that, there's just so much. And then more flyers, and that's from perfume, flyers, tissue paper that's flowery, and more tissue paper that's flowery but different, and oh, that's all stickers. What else? Oh, that's from like when you get flowers, like bouquets of flowers, and they have flowers on the, but it's like a plasticky. So more stamps, lots of punched out flowers, like die cuts and stuff. And as you can see, I do try and keep things organized, but I want to keep, I don't know, I need a system that's so like all the paper together and stuff. So this is just, again, random things that are gardening and flowers. Here's old calendars. Oh, another old calendar. Oh, this is like, see, our wheelie bins for our rubbish. I bought these to put on them, but the wheelie bins are broken and some of them have cracks in them, and I hate waste. I don't want to waste. I don't know why I have so many. Why did I buy? Maybe my pen pals need, I need to send some big envelopes to get rid of some of these. I don't know why I bought so many of these. Oh, I guess you know what it is? There's 6 of them and we have 6 bins. 2 of the garden waste, 2 of recycling, and 2 of regular household waste, but I don't need that much. And this is adhesive fabrics, so it doesn't go with the sewing stuff because it's adhesive. You can use it in scrapbooking and stuff like that. And I mean, these are like I don't know if they saw those are from Canada. Oh, this is like 1998. It's a cover of a catalog for a place I used to work. So I just kept like I can use the picture on the front, or these with the writing, I can use the frame around it. It was all for like stationery and stuff like that. It was catalogs for the company that I worked for, that if they wanted to order from this style and paper. This is like tissue box with bamboo on it. This is an old shopping bag, 2 of them, but it has herbs. I am a hoarder, yes, but I'm an organized hoarder. Flyer, secateurs, that was from plants, another plant, another tissue box, body collection, tissue, this is, a Radux, so it's like, shower gel. I know, I need to scrapbook as well. These are from plants, more, oh, this is a gift card that I already used. Oh no, actually, this is an Asda gift card, so I didn't even use this. I just took it because I wanted it for scrapbooking. But, so I am gonna, scrapbook too. Isn't this pretty? And this is from a plant too, but it has like, and junk journaling. But I don't know how to organize this stuff. So let's see, what else do we have? We have more stamps, more cutaways. That's from like, this is like from years and years and years ago when I was a kid still. More stamps. Oh, these is stamps, but it also has an embossing folder next to it, but I kept them together because, yeah, they can be together. And stamps and craft, what is this? Oh, this is die cuts that came with a magazine and stuff too. Okay, and then this is how my stamps, some of my stamps are like this, and they were labeled already, so they used to stack and be together, but again, which was great, but now I want to try and keep everything together for that whatever theme, so I know where to go and get them if I need them, but I also can work on just summer and flower stuff, right? Or autumn, or whatever the theme is. This is napkins that I liked, because you can do some things with napkins too, where people pull them apart really thin, and then you Mod Podge them onto things and stuff. So there's really cool crafts that you can do with napkins as well. This is an envelope. Happy 53rd birthday, Steve. Steve's 62, so that tells you how old that is, but it's got the flowers on it. And another flowery envelope. And this is card paper, Card Maker's Paper Collection, flowery paper. There's 2 there. And then this one is paper and more paper and more paper. Trees, botanical garden. I wish I had friends that lived near me who liked scrapbooking so that we could scrapbook together, yes?
I'm so sorry to interrupt your wife. Do we have white vinegar?
Yeah, that's what's in the vinegar bottle in the, next to the oil bottle in the big drawer with the pots and pans.
Okay, thanks. And do we have baking soda?
Yeah, it's in the drawer, like, you know where the noodles are?
Yeah, it's in there.
But it's in, yeah, there with the blue lid, and there's the baking soda and the baking powder.
Okay, thanks.
What are you cleaning? Oh, right, okay. This one is really pretty, Gardenia. This is, what's her name? Professional graphic designer, 30 years, Katie Partiet. So many, yes, I wish I can scrapbook, but it would be nice to have somebody close so I can share all my stuff with them and I don't have to go out of the house. Wanderlust. I have used these things for something, but retro floral, look at that, awesome. I love this stuff. I need to, oh, and this is like when I worked for Stamping Up, so I got Stamping Up stuff, but I actually put it to, well, it's in its own thing, but I put it together with everything else now. I'm not keeping it separate. Is this the last one in here? Grace Taylor Springtime Posy 100 sheet paper kit. And then last bin. Okay, so my mom, well, this says Lloyd McDermott. That's my dad, and he passed away in 2017. My mom is Marie McDermott, but this is all notepads. So
I'm trying to get through my stationery, but then this is what I'm going to start writing letters to my, like either you can use them for scrapbooking or there's these little ones like that I could send. But these, so when you, in Canada, when you donate to places, they, or even to get you to donate, they'll send you little things like this. That's why my mom has so many. And some of them are really pretty, even if they have my mom's name on, like the, I know it's folded in the corner. This is, can you see? Anyways, it's really cute. And then that one doesn't have a name on it. And yeah, there's, so that'll be good for stationery too, writing to pen pals. But like that's, and that's not even all she has. That's just some of the ones she gave me. So more stamps, 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 stamps. Just a backing from things I've bought. So these are some cards, greeting cards, note things. Some more. So this is what I'm going to be doing when I'm done on my live after we do the card reading and stuff. I'm just going to go through this stuff and try and organize it better so that it's not like again, these are, so this says, these might just say flowers if they say anything. Oh, this one says gardening. You know how the other one said spring? And this is just, so these are all like a set of those, but they might not need to be in this container. They might fit better if they're in like a Ziploc bag. But these are all tags. It says gardening, but most of them are tags and stuff, like little things that, and then this is another set of flowers. And I actually just used some of these a couple days ago. Yeah, so those are cloth flowers for crafts. And then these two are really big. They are for crafts, but I mean, you could wear them in your hair, or like they have pins on the back, so I could wear them on a shirt. So they're really big ones. And then this is just another set of different cloth flowers. And that's the 5 bins. So I'm going to try and organize this. And like, this is what I'm saying. And Melanie, I will show you, like, I have 5 just of flowers and gardening, but then I also have like all the different seasons. And then I have like the witch stuff as well. And then I have like, well, bohemian spiritual witch craft. And then I have like animals, family. I have like a masculine and feminine. That's how I put them. And like family, including babies and that kind of, and then celebrations like weddings and things. Like I have so many like themes, right? But I just am, so I've organized it enough to put it all together like this instead of having all my stamps together. Some are separate. So now I just want to take them and reorganize them so that I would love to have all my stamps in 1 or 2 containers together, so I know that that's just gardening, flowers, and only stamps, and you know, and only paper, and only embellishments. But like I said, I bought all of them that I could, and then they didn't have any more. So that was like not even a year ago. So I'll have to see if they have more. Anyways, let's. Oh, I wondered where I set these, so I can put them with the other notepads. Okay, let's do our other stuff. So we'll do. I'm gonna stick with the 3-card reading right now because I haven't had time to review any other ones to tell you guys about. Oh, Melanie says, impressive, lots of useful and beautiful things. I want to see the others for sure. Organizing them is also part of the fun. Yes, I think I organize things more than I actually, it's like how Steve says I spend more time making my to-do list than doing things on my to-do list, which isn't totally true, but it seems like that. So it's the same thing. I probably organize just as much as I actually craft. And then seeing everything, and it's hard because like if I have doubles of things, or if I have things that, you know what I mean, then I can't. But if it's only like one of something, I'm so like greedy and selfish that I'm like, oh, I only have one of those, I can't give it away because I'm gonna use it. I might use it one day. Let me have a sip of this, my flowery cup. And I did wear flower pants, like, because I have these yoga pants and it is summertime, but it is funny that it went with all the flowery stuff too. So, and these are like, I'm supporting the poppy appeal, and you're like, stick these in your windows. So it's a poppy appeal to charity. Again, Remembrance Day, you could use that for whatever. I have so many of these as well. They're window clings, but they,
But because it's a poppy, it's a flower, so it goes in the gardening and flowers. Okay, where did I put the cards? All right. Okay, Lammas, Oracle by Seasons of the Witch. Lorraine Anderson, Julia Diaz, illustrated by Tiana Lukovic. Let's do, so I've explained this before, I'll explain it again. 3-card reading, past, present, future, and, oh, I haven't used these cards yet. You can use the book or use your own intuition. And see, look, that's green paper. That was the scrapbooking stuff now. But solid colored papers, well, colored papers are in a different place. Well, they're with the scrapbooking. So anyways, so let's focus on one thing. Okay, so cards. Past, present, future. So your past is what got you to where you are now. Your present is where you are now. And your future is where you can go based on the, I would say, trajectory. I don't know if I have another word that goes of it. If you stay on the same path that you're on right now, it's a possible outcome for your future. Nothing's set in stone, so the future can change. But think about something in your life right now that you're worrying about or that you want more clarity on, and what you want cleared up. And that's what these will be answering for you today. So I don't know about my own life. Maybe the cards will tell me what I'm thinking about anyways. It might be this big mess that I just made on the floor here. But, yes, so the cards will answer your questions. Whether you're watching this live or watching this later, we get the messages that we need when we need them. So that's how it works. That's why the same cards can be meaningful for so many people. Because, like I said, people watching this now are not the same people watching this later. Well, I mean, if you're watching this now, then you're watching this now, whether it's now, live, or later. Anyways, so it works for everybody. Ready? So I'm just going to go off the top, and I brought the stand from Witch Casket, and it says past, present, future on it as well. So we're going to use this. And then I'm going to go off the top. You guys can see them, right? Yeah, okay. And there's something else I was going to say. Sorry, I'm like throaty and snotty because of whatever I'm allergic to that I touched. So, and I haven't taken any allergy pills. Oh, I was saying, yeah, if you work with the deck more or you're open and using your intuition, then you won't need the book. But for purposes of this and me not using these cards before, we're going to go with what the book says, what they intended with the, but I'll still show you guys the cards so you guys can see what your own impressions are with it. Oh, and I forgot to say that Melanie put a laughing face and was laughing at me when I said about using my, or organizing my stuff more than using it. So, oh, I forgot to look what it is. Meadow 31. Let your being be as full and vibrant as a summer meadow. So this is based on the past. And that meadow of flowers looks like this mess that I made right here with everything. So that's our past. And she's reading a book too, which is, oh, I forgot to tell you guys that what I've been doing, that's funny, the past, and she's reading a book and just enjoying summer. I am on like journal number 5 right now. I've been reading my old journals. So I'm in 1994 and I'm like 15 years old. So I've been reading my old journals. So it's journal number 5. I've actually not been reading them. I've actually been listening to them because I took pictures of them. I just put them into Speechify and I've been listening to them, and I'm on journal 5, and it's interesting because the personality feels the same in your head no matter how young or old you get. You know who you are, your core essence. But when you listen back or read letters that you wrote at a certain age or whatever, you realize how immature and different you actually are through the ages. So I'm interested to see what I thought of myself in my young adult life and stuff too, because I haven't read or listened to them since I wrote them probably. So so that's interesting that she's reading, and it's my past card. Second card is right now present. Failed harvest. Well, let me tell you, it's still a drought here, still no rain, so it's definitely a failed harvest in our present right now for a lot. And then even where it's flooding and everything else, there's a failed harvest a lot of the world over right now. It says, embrace the lessons of life and sow the seeds of a brighter future. Oh, I forgot to read in the book. I'll do that after I pull the third card then. All right, so let's pull the third one. And, oh, I forgot to show you guys as well. There you go. I'll hold it up again when I read about it in the book. And third card, our future is coming of fall, which is true. Number 7, let the spark of hope within you ignite and never cease, for it is never too late to manifest your dreams. I like that card too. I like the art on it. All right, so I'm going to read in the book. We'll go to number 31 first, Meadow. Meadow. 31, that'll be at the back. Because there's probably 52 cards. Or something like that. 33, 32, 31. 31, Meadow. Try to keep this straight so that it doesn't have a glare on it while I'm reading, but I can't always focus on both things, so wish me luck. Okay, Meadow, keywords, openness, full heart, gentle spaces. Let your being be as full and vibrant as a summer meadow. Meadow is a gentle card that encourages you to open your heart space and let your love spill out into the world. This is a card about connection, softness, and giving with a full heart. And when received in a reading, it is a sign that you are ready for love. This is the most auspicious card for relationships, as it means many things for the heart and home. To begin with, it is a sign that any wounds you have carried from previous relationships are healed now, and your spirit has room and the ability to allow a supportive partner bring nourishment and joy to your life. Now remember, this is a past card, so it's saying a sign that any wounds you have carried from previous relationships are healed now, and your spirit has room and ability to allow a supportive partner bring nourishment and joy to your life. For those who are already committed, this card can represent a marriage, birth, or easing into the retirement phase of life. In all scenarios, you can expect a happy home and being surrounded by the people and things you love. This card represents the happily ever after, a harmonious space, emotional fulfillment, and so much joy that your being will feel as big and fresh as a summer meadow. And actually, that is how I feel in life. I have everything I've wanted and everything I need. In the realm of money and career, this card can mean receiving help from a family member or going into a family business. Is there any more? Nope, that's it for Meadow. Failed harvest, number 16. Now remember, from everything negative comes something positive. So even though it's a failed harvest, there's going to be something we learn from it. Failed harvest. Keywords, reap what you sow, repairing the damage. Embrace the lessons of life and sow the seeds of a brighter future. And remember, just because something fails doesn't mean you shouldn't try again. I'm saying that, not the card. Okay, next page is, hang on, let me try and get that without a glare. All actions and inactions have consequences. And this card represents the result of actions that were not in alignment with kindness, compassion, and nourishment. In this instance, the choices you've made have caused negative effects for you and anyone else involved. The words you've said were harmful and the actions you took were given in malice, even if that wasn't your conscious intention. Or you might have failed to show up when someone needed you most, including yourself. Remember, this is our present card for us right now. So just as with the failed crop, you can clear out the old, fertilize, and begin again the next season. Be warned that this could mean the end of a relationship or career or other such closing of a chapter. This is the cost of the lesson, however unpleasant it may seem. You may not be able to salvage the current situation, but you can begin again, only this time applying more knowledge, care, and understanding. Karma isn't reserved just for how you treat others. Be mindful that this card applies to you as much as anyone else, as failing to give yourself spiritual nourishment and support your goals. And support your goals will just as likely end in a dream fulfilled. Let me start that part again. Be mindful that this card applies to you as much as anyone else, as failing to give yourself spiritual nourishment and support your goals will just as likely end in a dream falling apart before your eyes. The same is true about being unkind to or giving yourself unrealistic expectations. Self-forgiving practice. The power of self-forgiveness should not be underestimated. It helps you move forward, learn from your mistakes, embrace new experiences, and create more meaningful relationships. When it comes to forgiving yourself for past mistakes or regrets, it can be difficult to let go. But when you learn how to forgive yourself, you can also learn how to move on with your life in a positive way. Start by taking some time out for yourself and writing down the things you need to forgive yourself for. Give yourself permission to recognize those mistakes without judgment and write them down without censoring yourself. Then take a deep breath and address each mistake one at a time. For each mistake, say out loud a few words of self-forgiving or write them, got to turn the page. Write them down on paper. Acknowledge the power of your words and the impact they can have on your life. Speak to yourself as if you are a dear friend who deserves compassion and understanding. When you're done, take some time to reflect on how this exercise made you feel. Hopefully lighter, more buoyant, and empowered. Remember that while it may be difficult at times to forgive yourself for past mistakes, it is always worth it in the end because it allows you to accept your past and create a better future for yourself and those around you. Talks about your past and your future because this is the present. I love the way this stuff works every time. Coming of fall. Number 7, and I'm shouting again. Number 7, coming of fall. And I'm working my abs the way I'm like kind of squatting and leaning forward here too while I'm reading this. All right, coming of fall. Keywords: still time to harvest, last push, preparation for success. Let the spark of hope within you ignite and never cease, for it is never too late to manifest your dreams. Lammas marks the first of 3 harvests together with Mabon and Samhain. While summer is beginning to wane and with it the growing season, there is still plenty of time to plant, nourish, and grow fruits and vegetables to take you well into autumn. You have pulled this card because all is not lost and you can work towards your goals. Wait with enough time to see them come to fruition. Even if you have not been successful up to this point, there is still time to turn things around and use your past experiences to your advantage. This is your second chance, your moment to say yes, even when you want to throw in the towel. Receiving this card is your confirmation that it's not too late. Your age, level of experience, or the breadth of your mistakes are not reasons to wither away without experiencing the joy of seeing your desires manifested. Whether you'd like to start a new business or breathe life into an existing one, entertain a second career, or embrace a fresh relationship, there is still so much in you to give. Ultimately, this card is your soul's plea not to give up because you're almost there. Journaling prompts. Journaling is a powerful tool that can help you gain insight into why things have gone wrong in the past, identify patterns, and learn from your mistakes so you can make better decisions in the future. Journaling is a great way to gain clarity and develop self-awareness. As the more honest and open you can be with yourself, the greater insight and understanding you will gain. Consider these journaling prompts. What factors contributed to it going wrong? What steps can you take to prevent similar mistakes in the future? What skills or resources do you need to help you move forward? What resources do you have at your disposal? What insight and understanding can you gain from this experience? How will you use this experience to grow and become a better version of yourself? It's weird, the journaling prompts, because they almost go with the second card, which is the failed harvest, but they are actually written in here with card number 7, coming of fall. So that is how that works. I'm going to take a picture of those. Let's do our death questions after I have a sip of my thing. And book, Loving My Life, death questions, and end of life planning. All right, we are on number 17, my favorite number. If you want all the questions, let me know and I'll send them to you. Otherwise, we're just redoing them. Now we're on question 17. How do you want people to announce your passing? Do you think posting on social media is too impersonal or the best way to reach everyone? Do you want your obituary in the local newspaper, or is online enough? Is there any specific people you want notified in person or by telephone before a social media post is made? Would you like one person to make all phone calls, or would you be okay with them delegating lists to other people to contact? So like in our family, especially before the internet, somebody would call like my mom and her siblings, or my dad and his siblings, and then they would tell their kids, and then those kids would tell their kids, and like, or like the different like parts of the family, and that was all right with us. And the same thing, I'm not bothered how people are told, but I do think it's a bit disrespectful to put it on social media before the spouse or children, like before one of them has made the official public announcement. Same with births and stuff like that. I try not to say anything until after it's, you know, after somebody else has done it. But at the same time, I'm not bothered if people like talk about my passing online, or if that's how people find out. Because sometimes, like, I just talked to somebody a couple days ago and they didn't know that my brother had passed away, and my brother passed away over a year ago. And because, you know, and you try to reach out to everybody in different ways, but you can only do so much, right? So Melanie, is that the same laughing face? Yeah, it is. Okay, and then Melanie said, great readings this week. Thank you very much. So again, question number 17. How do you want people to announce your passing? And that's it. And now I'm going to tip you guys down, because look at this mess that I made. Like I have a lot of work here to do, but I will see you guys next Sunday for episode 3 of this season. And I don't know what we're going to be doing. And like, look how dark it is outside now. So we may be outside next Sunday. I'm not sure. I mean, it is now 9:22 here because I was 10 minutes late. So now I'm 22 minutes over, but that's all right. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be doing, but as it gets darker sooner outside, we're going to be moving inside and doing some different things. And it's still summertime, so I don't want to get into autumn stuff yet. But like I said, we can do Mabon in the next few weeks if we want. So, and maybe I'll do like next Sunday, no matter what we're doing, I'll try and do a little bit of an altar for Lammas. How do you say it again? Lughnasadh. No, what? What's the other one? Lughnasadh, something like that. All right. I will see you guys next Sunday. Have a great week. I love you guys, and enjoy the rest of your summer. It's almost over, so just embrace it. Don't rush out of it. Enjoy it. Sit, relax, enjoy the garden. Just be for a bit. Just be and enjoy where we are right now, because we're not going to ever get this back. All right? And yeah, just give energy to those who need it. I've had 2 people in the last week, 2 male friends who have both become widowers in this past week. And I have another acquaintance, a friend of Steve and Jackie's, who is not much longer on this side of the veil. So send love and light to those who need it. All right? Love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.